Hello and welcome to this tutorial series on making AI art. And one of the first things that you need to generate AI images is not only a software, but also the model to generate images with. The model is basically a accumulation of knowledge. It knows how to generate a vast variety of images. Now there are different types of models. For now, we want to focus on just checkpoints. Checkpoints are usually very large and they can not only do one thing really well, but a lot of things really well. The website I would recommend to search for new models is Civite or Civit AI potentially. I do not know how it is pronounced, but it's probably the best one out there at the moment. By default, it will just display everything here and that makes it a bit of a mess. So what I would recommend, go up here to the filters and select only checkpoint. Now this one will already limit the amount of different models that you're seeing here by quite a bit. Now it's still quite a lot of different models here. And there are some here that I would already say maybe don't use this. So for example, we have here the Trejo, which is probably not how this is pronounced, but I do apologize. I would not download a model that can only generate a single person. So, I mean, this model does it really well, I guess, because the images are very pretty. But if you get a model, you want something that can do a lot. So for example, here we have Dreamshaper XL. Dreamshaper is a very well-known model, and that one can generate a vast variety of different images without needing to swap from one model to another model. Another hint I can give you is to check this here. And this is a reasonable prompt. So this prompt is, I don't know, around 30 words long. Yeah, sounds about right. This is a reasonable prompt. I'm sure as we are going along, I will find one that has really bad prompts. You want to make sure that this here is not too long, because that indicates to me that the model is actually terrible and you need to do a lot of prompting to get good quality out. You want to prompt as little as possible for good quality. Once you have a model that you like, you can just click on download and download it. Please also note, as you can see, there are different models available up here that might be worthwhile to click through them, see what the differences are, and pick whatever you like. I will include a list of different models that I'm using quite frequently. However, with the addition of SDXL, which is what this one is based on, I am very convinced that we'll get very, very good new models very, very soon. So I would probably say, if you're watching this video in a year, all this information, all the models that I have recommended down there are going to be completely outdated. If I remember, I might update this list, but if I don't, then just see whatever is popular at the moment. Another thing I want to add, up here, you can turn off the safe search. So if you want your lewd models, this is the way to get them. Again, particularly with lewd models, you will find that there is heavy prompting involved. And for me personally, that's not what I want. I want to just type something in and get good results back. Now let's check this T3, because I have a feeling this might be it. Yeah, so this T3, if you look at the list of prompt that you have here to get a good result, this for me indicates it must be a bad model. Because if I need to do all of this to get a good result, it cannot be a good model. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting this. Now let's say you have your model, you're happy with it, but you want to add something on top. Now there is something called a Lora or a Lycoris. Both of them are very similar. Now what these are, I would call them an add-on. So you have a model that knows most things, but sometimes it doesn't know a character. So let's say here that Elena Fisher one. So doesn't know who Elena Fisher from Uncharted 4 is. But you could train a Lora on just Elena Fisher, and now you can use that Lora together with your model and generate images where Elena Fisher exists. So if you just do it without that Lora, you'll just get a random woman. But if you use it together with that Lora, you should always get an image that kind of looks like Elena Fisher. Now these are all trained by people, so depending on how good or how bad the dataset is, the better or the worse the results will be. I will include some of my favorite Loras as well in the description, so you can just click through the list and find some that I like a lot. But don't be afraid to just try some out, try to find which ones work well, which ones work bad. Also, just so you know, LoRa training might very, very soon be coming to Artroom. It has been implemented already in the beta version, and we are currently trying it out. So if all goes well, in the near future, you should be able to use it. And hopefully you won't even need to use one that someone else made. You can just use your own. Loras, by the way, don't only have to be people. Loras can also be on styles. So if we go over to styles, you can see that there is a croissant style. Sure, why not? Or a wool-felt style. So you can train it on pretty much whatever you want, which I really, really like. So I have actually done weird art style Loras. So Loras that are trained on very, very abstract pictures, just to see what kind of results I would get. And yeah, I think this should give you a pretty good overview of everything you need to know about where to get models. So let's see what you do once you have them downloaded. So once you have your models downloaded, how do you distribute them? Well, there is a folder that you define in your settings called the model weights folder. Now when you select this, there will be several folders generated for you, but I do recommend to add more to those. As you might be able to see, I have like a folder just dedicated to D&D and a folder just to new models. So I know which ones I have tested or not. And what you can then do is you can distribute your models amongst the folders. Now you might see that there is already a LoRa folder, a ControlNet folder, and a VAE folder in here. Also upscalers, I think, is generated by default. These ones are special models. So the LoRa one I've already explained. So if you have a LoRa, you can put it in here. And you can go even deeper. You can have folders within folders. Artroom will still be able to pick that up and distribute it. Now, poses is something special for ControlNet. I do hope we get into this later, so just ignore it for now. Yeah, so distribute your models into different folders and you can still see them in Artroom. You can, by the way, also share this folder with other setups. So I have Comfy UI installed as well and Automatic 111, and you can redefine the paths. So all three of them link to the same location, so you don't need duplicates of everything. I would say this concludes everything you need to know about models for now. So see you next time. Bye bye.